back.
Welcome to the cavalry.
Welcome to the cavalry, Andrew. Good to have you here.
Good to have you, Johnny. You look great. You sound great.
You look great.
Oh, thank you.
You smell good.
That's the new. I pay for the Zoom Premium so we can smell
Did
each
you
other.
fart?
What is this drink? Now you just lifted up conspicuously a
Cheers.
beautiful. Looks like a stemless wine glass with ice. Cayman Jack.
It's a Cayman Jack Cuban mojito. Mixed drink in a can, poured into a classy stemless.
Pour it into a classy stemless, and you enjoy those.
I do
find
like the margaritas and the Palomas best.
Do you find them like potent? Those seem like they might be a little weak because they come in a can.
Those are good. They're not weak. They're not like, ooh, that's alcohol-y, but they're not weak like those ones where it's like, oh, margarita, but then it turns out it's like sparkling,
Yeah.
It's like a spritzer drink with alcohol, spiked shit.
Did you see they're doing like non-alcoholic White Claws?
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, which everyone made the same joke, which is like, that's what that's sparkling water. Like that's what we started with.
Yeah, that's
like that's not an invention,
right.
But it is fascinating that like, what is the itch that needs to be scratched where you're like, God, I miss getting drunk off of sparkling water. Like that's only been around for like 2 years,
Yeah.
And then already they're like, okay, now we can cater to the people who remember getting drunk off White Claws and need something to, I don't know.
Like now, we just came out with candy cigarettes with nicotine.
Right. Wait, is that what it would be?
Well, it'd be the opposite, but that doesn't work. Yeah.
Like, what's something they made bad for you and then you turn it back into...
That's what I was trying to think.
Yeah. I think, I see what you're saying. No, you're right. Yeah, candy cigarettes, but then now they're... Wait. Yeah,
it's something that was bad that they made.
No, it's like...
It's not bad, and then they made it bad.
Yeah. Because cigarettes were bad. Then candy cigarettes were good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So they're selling this new product as a take on the new, but really it's just, that's the original.
Yeah, I guess. You know what? We'll get back to you on that, everybody.
Welcome to the cavalry, everyone.
There's an analogy there for this topical joke that I think 5,000 people have weighed in on, but we're going to take a few more weeks. And that's why we're going to be on the next episode of After Midnight.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's the new late night show. I haven't seen it yet. I'm sure it's good.
Has it started?
Yeah. Is it bad sign for the promotional team? But do you remember when the original At Midnight was on with Chris Hardwick?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, what the difference is. The At Midnight was a game show with Chris Hardwick, right?
Yes. And the idea was like, it was genius.
Yes.
I mean, I never watched the show and I was living in LA, taped in LA. And there was this obsession at the time, especially when it started, of comedians, because Twitter was just kind of taking off. And it was this perfect confluence of like all the smart, funny people were on Twitter, like writing jokes all the time. That's like what Twitter used to be, you know? And then it was this show that would like capitalize. They had their own writers, but then they like dangled this carrot out there of like, you could with the hashtag. And if you come up with like, inappropriate grocery store names or whatever it was, you could submit all these, and they're just people would spend hours writing At Midnight hashtags with the hopes of getting one on the show for free, by the way.
Yeah, for free.
And then the show just had this mountain of material to choose from.
Yeah.
From submissions, which most of them were probably shit,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is like, oh wow, all these free jokes, but it's like, well, that's probably 98% just horse shit.
99.9% shit. But that's not the point. The point was they would trend the stupid show every night. So you were like, oh, did that show come out? You didn't even know. You knew when At Midnight was on. One, it was on midnight every night, but the title was clever.
Yeah.
But two, because your stupid feed of comedian friends would just be loaded with desperation jokes flying at every angle.
Yeah.
And so it was really kind of it was like the comedy festival of television shows. It was like,
Yeah.
how can we manipulate people who want to make it into comedy into a business model?
Yeah.
And they did it.
And so now this show, is it called At Midnight?
It's called After Midnight, and it's the same concept, I think, but I haven't seen it.
Taylor
Tomlinson hosts, and then there's 3 comedians as guests. So it is way different than like the typical late night talk show where they'd have actors and musicians. It's like At Midnight where they just have comedians doing, I'm sure, the hashtag games. So,
okay. Huh.
Well, I'll have to check it out one day.
Well, maybe you'll be on it one day.
Yeah. Maybe you'll be on it one day.
I feel like I feel like you're a very good comic for that type of show. If it's like the game show was, where you're coming up with legit
thank
joke
you.
writing. Yeah. Yeah. Hell, of course.
That's like, no, that's an actual compliment. I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, my bit is to say thank you when it's unrelated.
Right. I thought you somehow I was like, maybe it's just, I assume it's sarcastic. You have like a lot of people like us, I feel like, have a hard time taking compliments. Have you gotten better at receiving compliments as you get older?
No, I still if I get a compliment, I panic and feel like, wait, is that like, are they cueing me that I was rude a minute ago and they're sarcastically like
making fun of me?
And so I jump to just flood them with compliments.
But even if you know they're not making fun of you or they're being sincere, does it still make you uncomfortable and you like try to deflect it as fast as possible?
Yeah.
Can I give you a little advice?
Where's that come
from? See, this is why we're like kindred spirits, but I think it's like a sort of humble guy. It's way better to be the humble guy.
Is it I was gonna say, is it a Midwest thing? But you're not a Midwest.
I'm not Midwestern, but it's a Scandinavian sort of deep, don't look at me, white guy sort of thing, which is weird. It's weird when you go into comedy, but you have that of like, hey, I'm just doing my part, just doing my job, don't want any attention. Like literally, your name's in lights. They took a fancy picture of you and put it in the front of the building, but you're like, it's not about me. Okay. Everyone has to clap for you when you go on stage, but let's not make a big deal. It's like, it's so stupid, but that does.
Right.
It's like, I just like comedy, I guess. But if you could just take all the audience out of it, it would be perfect. But here's what I've learned. I think I've learned.
Yes.
It's easier to deflect the compliment because what happens is like, let's role play, right?
All right,
so,
this is great. Pull over. Oh, did you have something specific in mind?
Yeah. Wait. Let's role play. So first I was born. Then I got older. Okay, no. But what would make more sense? Should I be you compliment me?
I'll compliment you, and then
you compliment me, and I'm gonna No. The other way. I'm gonna compliment you, and then you deflect it like you normally would. Okay. Oh my God, Johnny, you were so funny. Like, it's so amazing that you're a comedian. Like, do you know how funny you are?
Oh my God! Well, thank you. That's very kind, but it's I think you are a great audience.
You shouldn't. No, it's not
about the audience. I'm not always great. I have rough shows tonight.
No, you shouldn't. No, listen to me. You should not do that. You are so funny. You gotta. I mean, you should know how funny you are, and I just think it's amazing how funny you are. Okay.
Can you hang on a second? I'm getting a call. I thank you. I gotta go.
Oh, you take a fake phone call.
Just take a fake phone call.
That's one way to get out of it. Now, let's do it again.
All right, now I compliment you and you show me what I should do.
No. I'm gonna
Okay.
no.
You just want to do that way again?
I'm gonna do the same thing, but this time just go, thank you. That's nice of you to say.
Okay.
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 Oh my God, Johnny. That show was amazing. You were so funny.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, does anybody else want to talk? Like it just ends. See, it ends it way faster. They don't come over the top.
Did you feel that weird silence? It was almost like you were like,
Yeah.
wow, this guy, wow, really? This guy accepted my compliment. What a fucking wow.
It's
you see how big his head is?
Well, it's an alpha move, but also
here's what I was afraid it was going to be. This is what it felt like to me. I'm going to compliment you, and you do whatever you say people should do.
Okay.
Oh my God, Andrew, is that a new penis? It looks really big in your pants.
Why, yes, it is. Thank you for noticing.
Wow. Wow. This guy.
Finish that sentence. Finish that sentence. This guy.
Compliment this guy. He fucking takes the compliment.
This guy is really confident about his new dick. Wow. No, but it's like a sneaky, so it's uncomfortable receiving compliments, right? We're starting
stinky something?
Huh? Sneaky.
You'd say that's sneaky. I think it's a real stinky.
I've had like 3 glasses of wine. This could get rough. It's a sneaky way of actually deflecting the compliment is accepting the compliment, right? So like if you deflect it, more is going to come in, which then you could look at it like psychosis wise. You could say we're so desperate for compliments, we know if we deflect it, we'll get more.
Yeah,
so maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Subconsciously, it's like
we're
getting more, but we're not asking.
If
for
I
more,
deflect, I deflect because they're like, "Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, I'm ugly. And you're gonna get more. No, you're not ugly. You're gorgeous.
Okay, so now we'll do one where you deflect. Okay.
Okay.
Right, ready? Oh my gosh. Andrew, that show was one of the best shows I think I've ever seen of comedy.
Oh wow, that's nice. It was a great crowd, and the openers were so strong and made it really easy to follow. So,
that's a good point. That's a good point. Where are they? Do you know where they went? And as a comic,
I'm just
wait.
I'm just devastated. No. You were right the first time. I don't know what I was thinking. Come back.
Yeah. That's good. Is this a recent discovery? Did something happen? Did you just accidentally accept a compliment? And you were like, hey.
No, it is a recent discovery of like the last maybe year or so. And I think I just became like, I'm like tired of the dance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like, oh no, you have to be humble and just go, yeah, thank you. And they just don't know what else to say. And then we can move on to talking about fantasy football or whatever I really want to talk about,
Oh, because I'm going to use that.
Try it. Just try it. If you actually are uncomfortable, like that's the thing. Like if you want more compliments, definitely like just deflecting. But like,
no, but it's like an automatic thing. It is an automatic thing to deflect. It's not like, I'll
change the subject. Change the subject is very easy. Like they go, oh my God, that was the greatest show ever. Yeah. Thank you. That's so nice. And you guys were, oh my God. And you came all the way from Oshkosh. Man, that's a crazy drive. Was the weather okay? That's something I would do too. But
nice.
Yeah.
Neutralize the
get to the weather. Just get to the weather as fast as you can.
That's what everyone wants to talk about.
Weather talk.
That's
what's going on here. Wait, no, you go.
What's going on there?
Ice storm.
We haven't talked since my my treacherous drive back.
Oh yeah.
This past weekend. I did that corporate in the Ozarks, drove 8 hours on Thursday day of the gig to do it. And I figure, I'll just stay over. I'll drive home the next day. It's like a 8-hour, 7.5 hour drive. So I was like, no sense in doing that drive twice during a day. As the gig got closer, they email me and they're like, hey, we're having a huge weather advisory. Supposed to be a big winter storm. Wanted to let you know that the conference is still on. Want to make sure you're still coming. I said, yep, I'm still coming. And we get news. We're supposed to get dumped on like hardcore, just awful on Friday, the day after. And so I'm like, oh, geez. So as I'm driving down there, I'm like, well, I'm going to drive back tonight. after the show, I'm just going to get in my car, turn around and beat the storm because I don't want to get stuck in the Ozarks for the whole weekend.
Right.
You know, I want to be home for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So I did. So I drove back. So after the show, I got in my car. Oh my God. I don't know how often you've
By the
ever.
way, really quick. There probably is a fantastic celebration in the Ozarks for Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes. That's true, but I didn't.
They might lower the Confederate flags to half mast for Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Have you ever driven through like a blizzard, like a snowstorm, where you feel like you start to get hypnotized, where it's like Star Wars and hyperdrive, and you're just like, I don't even feel like I'm really in a car anymore.
And you're like, anything could be ahead of me.
Yes.
Like I see the tires, or I see my headlights.
Yep.
And I see like maybe a foot in front of me, but I don't even. And you're just going, going like 60 miles an hour, just going, I don't know. Just making an assumption. It's psychotic.
It took me like over 10 hours to get home because, it wasn't like that the whole way, but like at the beginning, I was like, this is great. I'm beating it. There's nothing. And then boom, just, 4 or 5 hours of, oh, criminy. And by the time I get here, there's already, it's at that point where it's 3, 4 in the morning. The plows have not come. There's 6 inches of snow and the highways
how is
aren't
that
bad
better? How is that better than if you just waited out the storm?
Because I got back at 6 a.m. and if I had not waited, then I would not be able to come home till Saturday. I wouldn't have been able to drive home that Friday. It would have been way worse.
Oh, it would have been. Okay.
Yeah, because they wouldn't have had plowed, and that's the worst when you're driving and you just see, every 15 minutes you see a car just upside down next to the road. You're just like, oh my God, what a moron. Anyway, you just assume they don't know how to drive.
And what car did you drive? You drove the Prius?
I drove the Prius. I had 3 of those sandbags in the back.
I love it. No snow tires, no
we got like all season tires, which is better than
Blizz.
No, those were too expensive. I didn't spring for those.
Just like literally what a stupid euphemism. All seasons. Yeah, every tire is fucking all seasons.
Well, no,
the cheap tires I got are all seasons.
I bet they're not blizzard.
Hey, well, they work in the summer, they work in the spring, they kind of work in the winter, and they work in the fall. So they're all seasons.
Here's my logic. The Blizz or whatever, they're like, those are great. You're gonna be great. They're gonna be great. If you drive them in, a lot of people take them off in the summer because if you drive them in the summer, you're just gonna burn through them because they're not made for that.
Right?
You're gonna get a less than a year out of it. It's like you don't want to drive those unless they're needed.
Right.
So people take them off, and I'm like, I know me. I'm not gonna keep 4 tires in my garage and swap them back and forth. So I'm just like, I'll do a all season tire.
That's funny because we went to Palm Springs on Saturday, and Portland got hit with like this ice storm and our power went out. And so we went the night before it was like freezing cold here, and we had to go to the airport early the next morning. So we were like, Heidi's cousin lives near the airport. She offered, so we stayed at her house that night, and her cousin was going too. So we were on the same flight. So her husband drove us to the airport. And they have a Subaru. It's like an all-wheel drive kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he has the Blizzak tires. And he is one of these guys who like, and I was
Switches
like, well,
them out.
and I said, like, how do you do that? Like, what do you do? And he's like, well, I just keep them in the garage. I'm like, well, but how do you get the tires on? He's like, well, I just change the tires. I was like, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you just change your
So he has like 8 of the wheel part thing, that the tire goes on.
Well,
Like
no, he just changes the tire, right? Like
well, you can't just
take the
you
lug
can't change
nuts
it.
off.
Yeah, but that includes the wheel. Like he's got 8 wheels then, because the
No,
tire
it's
goes
just
on
the
the
tire
wheel.
part, isn't it?
No, you can't. Consumers don't have the machines to change it. Like the tire, they put the tire on the wheel. So if he's throwing stuff in the garage, they're not just tires like a tire swing. They have
But like when you
wheels.
change a tire, like you have a flat tire, you change a tire.
Yeah, you're taking your wheel off and you're putting the spare tire on, which has its wheel attached to it. And then when you get to the shop, they take your pop tire off your wheel, put a new one on your
Now I
wheel.
think he's got 4 wheel. I don't know, whatever.
That's
you're
what I
saying,
mean. He's got 4 spare wheels with tires on. That's ridiculous.
But when you have a spare tire in your trunk, it's a spare wheel then. Yeah.
Yes.
Never heard anyone use this terminology. Like, I've got the spare wheel in the back.
Well, no one uses
it. I'm just saying
it because they have a spare tire. Yeah, but you're saying he changes his tires, but he's not literally changing the tire. He's changing the wheel.
Yeah. So he takes the lug nuts off, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it didn't even occur to me.
Not only to buy 4 tires, he's got to buy 4 wheels to put those tires on.
But don't they sell those together? Like when you buy new tires,
no.
When I bought new tires, they didn't sell me the rubber part. They just sold me 4 new wheels.
What? Then you got fucking tape. What'd they do with your wheels? Like your rims. That's what I'm thinking of. Rims.
The rims. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like you're just buying tires. You're looking at tires, and then they put the new tires on.
Maybe I'm
rims.
wrong. Maybe I misunderstood.
So he's got 8 rims.
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they don't. Maybe
he knows how to put tire. Maybe he's got a machine.
Maybe he knows how to put tires on his machine.
I don't know.
I could have this all wrong. Maybe he does take it into the dealership or something, and maybe I misunderstood. Now, and I'm leaking confidence yet again.
Hey, you're a smart guy. You're a smart guy, Andrew.
Not when it comes to cars. And I'll tell you what, not when it comes to gas fireplaces. Do you have a gas fireplace?
Yes, I do. It's been on my to-do list to get it because it just goes out randomly. We got to get it cleaned or serviced.
You got to get it serviced. Yeah, they say you have to get it serviced every year. We've had it for 4 years, never done it. Because one time I called and I was like, I think I'm supposed to get it serviced. And she's like, oh, okay. And I was like, does it need it? And she goes, well, does it smell? And I go, no. And she's like, probably not. I was like, goodbye. And that was 4 years ago. But so when the power goes out, I'm like, the first thing you think is like, oh, thank God I have a gas fireplace that does not require electricity. I'll be fine, right? But it doesn't work because it's got an electric start, right? So it goes out. It won't work even if your fireplace is on, when the power goes out, it still doesn't work. It all turns off. So
you're saying it like, oh, thank God I have a gas fireplace as opposed to
a wooden fireplace. Right, which would work 100%
as opposed to an all electric.
Yeah, but then what am I gonna go out there chop some wood? Who am I, fucking Paul Bunyan? Not Jeremiah Johnson. Okay, I'm not gonna go out there. No, I like chopping wood. It's just like a lot of times too, people have these fireplaces that are wood fireplaces and they don't actually heat their house because it sucks more air. Unless you have a blower, those type of fireplaces suck more heat out of your chimney than they actually give. Or if you have like a metal, if you have a metal hearth that heats the house,
Yeah.
But anyway, so I've always thought like, well, our fireplace just doesn't work during a power outage just sucks. It's fun to have it during the winter and it is cozy and everything, but it just sucks because you're like, that's the one thing you'd be like, this would be super useful. Because I was researching because I knew the power was going to go out. We saw the storm was coming. I knew the power was going to go out. So I was like looking up, like, are there battery powered heaters? Like, do those exist? How am I going to keep the house warm? Because Heidi is not great with the cold,
Oh yeah. Good point. I thought, yeah, how do you keep yourself warm if a power outage during a winter storm?
Right.
So what's the verdict?
The verdict is they don't really sell battery powered heaters. There's like gas heaters, or you could get a generator. But I was like, I don't want to spend like $300 on it. And I don't see myself as a generator guy. Do you have a generator?
No. Last time we talked about it, I made that joke about, I have an electric generator. You got to plug it in.
That's so funny. That was your joke, because I was talking about this with my mom, and she's like, they make space heaters, and I was like, yeah, electric space heaters. She's like, yeah. I was like, all right, I don't think I'm communicating what I'm looking for. So I did some YouTubing, and this has been like 4 years, and the power's gone out every year. And I've always been like, this sucks. Our gas fireplace doesn't work. Yeah. And then I did some YouTubing, and apparently every gas fireplace has a little battery pack on the bottom. If you take the screen off, there's a little battery pack, and you're supposed to, and you have to put batteries in there and attach the battery pack, and then it'll work during a power outage.
Run off the batteries. That's universal. They all have that,
except for fucking mine, because then I look, there's no battery pack, and then I called, and they were like, oh yeah, they should have left that when they installed it in a little plastic bag with the instructions. Like, oh, okay. So I'll just go look for something that was given to me 4 years ago and nobody told me about in a small plastic bag. Like, I think it's fucking gone. I don't know. It's like, well, we can mail you one for $28. Like, all right, fine. Mail me fucking. So we just still don't have it, but they're going to
mail me one. And then when it shows up, I'll call you and you have a guy comes install it for me.
Well, that's the other thing. She's like, you want us to do a service call and he can install it while he's there? I'm like, no, I'm going to wait for it to smell bad.
I'm a big boy.
I'm going to wait till I have Johnny's problem where it doesn't work. And then I'm going to call.
Well, this leads perfectly into my first topic. Can I just go into it? So please. You're doing the fireplace thing. I was trying to. Do you drain your? You ever drain your water heater? Have you heard about this?
Dude, I only heard about this because I'm curious.
Instagram?
This is the same thing. Instagram. There's like an account of this old dad, and he does all this shit at his house. And he's like, you have to drain your water heater every year. Yep. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? Drain your water heater? Are you out of your mind? But apparently, and I haven't done it yet, but apparently you're supposed to do it every year.
Yeah. I saw that and I was like, all right, I'll put that on the to-do list. And I just didn't, I ignored it. And then Aaron sent me a similar video of some other guy saying, here's easy. You got to do this every year. Here's an easy way to do it. This is my topic. If you're going to put these, I'm going to go viral with my fucking stupid asshole, homeowner do-it-yourself video, there need to be a screening thing. Like, you shouldn't be able to just post do-it-yourself videos willy-nilly. That needs to be governed, because I was like, okay, I'll do that. I was like, well, I'll watch
you have to have a license.
Yeah, exactly. To post those videos. I'm watching this video. I'm like, all right, I got to do this. And they're like, all right, well, here you're gonna, make sure you flip the switch or shut off the breaker if you got an electric one. If you have a gas, turn off the gas, just whatever. You got to make sure you flip this valve, because otherwise your house will blow up. That's very important. Anyway, and I'm just like, wait, keep back up. Like, these little things you're glossing over, that when my house fucking explodes and my family dies, you will not even know about it, that you're the reason it happened. So I go down, I'm looking at mine, and my water heater is like a fucking hybrid.
Wait, can I ask you a question? I was just about to ask. Did you know, when you're watching the video, like gas or electric, did you know which one you had?
No. Yeah. I just assumed, well, I'll go down there and figure it out. I go down there and it's like, it talks about a pilot light, but it's plugged in. Like, the pilot light is plugged into
Right.
and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Right.
Nothing apply. And I watched like 4 different, videos of how to do this, and they're all very different. And I'm like, God damn it. They're all like, make sure you release the pressure valve. And then another video is like, you never want to touch your pressure valve. Okay. The other videos are going to tell you to do that. You don't want to do that. That's a safety mechanism. So your house doesn't blow up if there's too much heat and pressure. You don't want to wear that out. You don't want to break that. Just turn on a faucet to really, or whatever. So I'm just like fucking just so frustrated. So it ended with me just finding a video of a guy saying, that's ridiculous. You don't need to drain your you don't need to drain your. And so I sent that to Aaron. I was like, I think we're okay. This guy's dad is a plumber, and he said that's silly. So that's how it ended.
Oh, that's genius. You know what this is? I got it. Here's your social media role.
Yeah.
You're the dude who finds the videos that people really want to see, which is just experts saying you don't have to do the thing that other people are saying you have to do.
Yeah.
So it's like, here's why you don't need to get your gas fireplace serviced. Here's why you don't have to have Blizzak tires. You can just drive your Prius in the snowstorm. That's hilarious. It reminds me, there's an Amy Schumer joke. No one likes Amy Schumer anymore for some reason, but she has this very funny joke where she's like talking about when you're pregnant and you're like, it's the same thing. There's all these different rules and like theories, and like in Europe, they do it differently than in the United States, and like the rules, what you're about to eat and what you can't eat, and if you can, activities you can do. And so she was like, you're like researching, like some doctors are like, you can't drink at all, and then the other doctors are like, you can have one, maybe half glass of wine every once in a while, and then another doctor's like, yeah, you just drank, but you just don't want to get drunk. She's like, ding, 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 ding. She's like, whatever the answer is that you want to hear is that it's gonna be out there for you somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very funny.
Oh man.
Yeah, I saw the one that got me was cleaning out the dryer vent.
Oh yeah.
And I was at Home Depot the other day, and our clothes haven't been drying very well. So I was like, okay, I guess that's a sign I should clean out the dryer vent. And I got one of these things that connects to your little screw gun, like a drill.
Yeah.
And it's got a brush on it, and it goes really long.
Yeah, I got one of those.
Yeah, you got one of those? So as long as it goes, it doesn't go as long as my stupid hose from the dryer out
to the vent outside.
There's not that much space from where my dryer is to the vent outside, but the hose is comically long. Like it wraps around like a small intestine, like a large intestine, just so the thing that I bought was not long enough to really go all the way out to push everything out. But did you start from the bottom up, or did you go from the outside vent down out back into the basement?
No, ours is in the laundry room right attached to the garage. But I went from the laundry machine, like I disconnect the machine,
right?
And then I go from that hole
out of the house.
Yeah,
because you didn't want all the shit going. Yeah,
right. But what I do is I get the blower, the leaf blower.
I saw that one.
Stick it in.
Yeah, I don't have a good leaf blower.
Stick it in the hole, and then I put my phone on the outside vent and hit record to just watch it, and it just. A cloud of dust just flies out.
See, that's what I should just do, is get the leaf blower going. But I don't have a good leaf blower. That's why I didn't do it. So what I learned was
the brush as far as it goes, just to knock it all loose, and then do the blower. Yeah.
So what I learned was I got to push it back inside. Unfortunately, I disconnected from the dryer, and I put it up into I tried to attach to like a garbage bag or something. And then I push it down, use gravity. So I go as long as I can with my stupid extendo stick that isn't long enough, and then I push it out, and then the rest of it falls out. So But
That's the
that,
one job where I'm like, I'm a homeowner. Hey, babe,
yeah,
you need anything
and
done? I
then you
just
get
got
no
done doing the
credit.
laundry.
And then like Heidi doesn't give a shit. She
Yeah.
doesn't even know this is a thing that we have to worry. I mean, it's not like there's like a big pile of garbage in our living room, and if I had gone and picked that up, like you get a lot of credit. It
Yeah.
doesn't count because this is just this invisible thing
Out of
that,
sight. Yeah.
yeah, and nobody cares about. But like if I don't do it, the house is gonna burn down.
Yeah.
And nobody,
That's what I'm saying. Find a video about, oh, this is a safety hazard and send it to her on Instagram and be like, hey, babe, good thing. Don't worry, babe.
good
Don't
thing
ever
I
worry
already
about
did it.
this. I got it.
You know what else? You know what other homeowner? here's a here's another homeowner thing I did. So same Home Depot trip. I forget what inspired this Home Depot trip, but I bought one of these fireproof like safes, like lock boxes to put like
Yeah.
serious documents in because um Heidi like Ginger's birth certificate and social security card and passports and then the deed to the or the title for the car. And then it hit me, it was like, wait, do we have like a like a deed to your house?
Yeah. I've heard of
Like
that.
like do you have one of those?
I don't really understand what that is.
Oh,
No.
so I was like up late one night going, oh fuck. Like if someone came to you, I'm like, hey, you guys, you don't own this house. You gotta go. And I'd be like, no, this is our house. Like, nah, it's our house. Like, how would you really prove it to them that it
I would be like, no. When we bought this house, we paid an extra like 400 for some sort of insurance. And they'd be like, well, what is that? Well, show it to me. And I'd be like, I got to get my
oh,
agent
title
on the phone.
insurance. I
Yeah.
totally didn't know about that. I was literally looking through every piece of paper. So we're like moving all the bedrooms around, right? So I'm in this Ginger's room, has this like white cabinet. And anytime there's any like thing that I'm like, I'm probably not allowed to throw this piece of paper away, I just put it in this cabinet and I don't organize it. I don't file it. It's just paper.
That's what I do that with the Laugh Fest bag in the basement. I just
Yeah.
show all things. I'm like, someday
Right.
someone's going to need this.
So like literally social security cards, but they're all intermittently mixed with like 9,000 healthcare documents that we never are gonna need.
Right.
So
right.
I had to go through all of these because I got this stupid fireproof box, and I'm like, I'm gonna put the really important stuff in this box,
Yeah.
And I'm going through everything, and I'm like, we should have like a deed.
Yeah.
Like, because there's like movies you watch, like there's this Wanderlust movie where like that's the whole plot point where it's like if you can't find the deed, you don't really own the house.
Seems like shouldn't that be digitized by now?
Right. Same thing with passports. Why? This probably was a topic I had at one point, but how could it possibly be if I lose this little piece of plastic papery thing?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the CIA, the federal government, the FBI, nobody fucking knows who I am.
Yeah.
I mean, how could that possibly, with the internet and everything? It seems ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
But anyway, that felt very homeownery. So I did find it though. We do have a deed.
You found a deed?
And I
is
found
that different
my deed.
than the title? Is the deed different from the title?
The title's for the car.
Oh.
And I found that. Dude, totally randomly. Wasn't even looking for it. And I was like, oh shit, this is the title. This is how I own my car.
When you want to sell your car. You need that to sell your car, right?
I know, and I sold a car without a title one time. My mother-in-law's car I sold one time just to do it on Craigslist, and he didn't know to ask for it, and I didn't know to give it. So he just never got the title. And then he got a bunch of parking tickets and obviously he didn't pay them because they were all going to my my mother-in-law's ex.
Oh,
the car was in his name. So he was getting all these parking tickets and he was getting pissed off. So he just went down. He had a key and he used like this low jack thing or whatever. He just stole the car back. And then the guy never filed a report. He was just like, damn, man, they got me. And he just took the car back.
That's great.
So, but I sold it. I did a good job selling it.
That's great. That's what we should do. We should do that. Should be our latest scam. Is we just sell our car, and anytime people bring up the, oh, do you have the title? just in your mind, oh, this is not who I'm selling the car to.
Or you go,
the title.
Yeah, we don't really want to do a title exchange because there's like a permitting fee, and then it costs an extra 1,000 to do the title transfer. Like, honestly, we could just, if you just have cash, we could do it right now today.
We'll do it under the table. Save you money, save us money.
Yeah. But yeah, I found, and then you said title insurance, which I didn't even know I had, and then I found the paperwork that proves I have that.
Yeah.
So no one can even steal my house from me.
That's great.
Isn't that great?
Me neither. I'll say that just so.
And I got it all in a one fireproof box that if I ever get robbed, some thief will go, hey, that box is probably the one thing I should take. And
is it a safe or just a box?
Well, it's a safe, but it's not like attached to anything.
Is it heavy?
It is heavy. Like, but it's like you can carry it with one arm.
Oh, so it's not heavy.
It's heavy for one arm.
Oh, okay.
And you need a key or just a crowbar, probably.
Yeah, something they can carry it with that one arm to their car and then.
I was thinking about that. I was like, and then Heidi was like, well, put the key somewhere where you know it's for that safe. And I said, well, but then the robber will know. Like, she's like, label it like safe key. And I was like, well, that's not a good idea.
Why don't I just put do not take on the keychain?
And so I put black duct tape on the key.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, just remember the key with black duct tape on it is the safe key. And she's like, I'm never going to remember that. And I was like, well, just make a core memory right now. Just go say it to yourself. The black tape on the key is the safe key. I was like, say it over and over. She's like, I'm not going to do that. I was like, then what do you want? Because I'm going to remember that the rest of my life, I think, because I've said it now out loud. Aren't you going to remember it? Like, if I ask you a year from now, which one is the safe key? You're going to go, the black duct tape.
The black one, the one with duct tape on it. Yeah. Or black tape on it.
You get it.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
All right. What's your topic? What's your topic? How can I back you up?
I think you're going to back me up. So you're going to Disney World?
We're going to Disney World, baby, shortly.
Next week. Where are you staying, by the way?
We're staying at Disney World. I don't know. No, we're staying at Animation Station or something.
Is it one of the Disney World properties? Like, is it like connected to the whole resort, or is it like off site? Like
no, it's a Disney thing.
Okay.
I think. But it's one where you have to take, like, it's not at a park. You have to take
like
the
walk in.
But it's not like a Holiday Inn.
Okay.
It's the Disney animation, whatever.
I'm sure the kids are very excited. Are the kids excited? Are they talking about it?
They're very excited. Yes. Yeah. They're excited. I think this is a great age. Phoebe's 5.
Oh, great.
9, 11. It's going to be great.
Very happy for you. So here's what I need backup on. You talked about Instagram videos. So here's a popular Instagram video that I see all the time is people who went to Disneyland or Disney World.
Yep.
And then they total up the expense of the trip. Have you ever seen these?
Nope.
No. Okay. Well, so like they'll go, okay, here's our trip to Disney. Now we stayed at the so-and-so resort. That was this much. And then the number comes up. And then we had 6 park tickets. We bought the Genie Plus app. Yeah. We spent this much on food. We spent this much on airplane tickets. All in all, the whole trip was like $82,000 or whatever it was. And then, they go, yeah, I don't know if we'd do it again. Probably wasn't worth it. A lot of money. And then it's like, okay, I get why they're doing it. It's like an interesting thing to like keep track of every penny of your vacation. But also, like, there's this whole thing about not posting pictures of your kids online because it's their privacy and not involving your kids. If you're posting the financial benefits of a family vacation to fucking Disneyland for internet clout, that's ruining your kid's childhood. Because they're gonna, if let's say the video goes viral, they're gonna see it and they're gonna go,
Yeah.
well, you were fucking bean counting the whole time and like worried about if my joy was worth the dollar amount. You're doing like an algebra equation to decide if I should get to
Right.
meet Mickey Mouse.
And
Like,
the
get the fuck out
conclusion
of here.
was never again.
Yeah, and always the conclusion was like, probably not worth it.
I'll
Like,
get him a box of popsicles.
yeah, like either go, hey man, Disneyland's really expensive and probably not for us. Totally understandable. I can understand that. Or go, yeah, it's pricey, but it's worth it for. But you don't need to like
Oh
break
yeah.
down
Like how much fun were you
like,
having on your vacation?
where you're totaling up every. Also, like you're counting food. Like
Yeah.
you have to buy food when you're home. That's what I always think on vacation. People are like, oh, and I spent like when you're in comedy, you're like, yeah, I was on the road and my hotel cost so much, and I spent this much on food. Like, I have to eat at home too.
Right.
This isn't like an extra expense.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys have
great.
a great time and you don't I'm sure you have it all, the costs all figured out.
Yeah, we did the credit card that we've had for freaking 8 years and never ever cashed. And that's how we paid for the flights and then the trip,
There
was
you go.
an expense. But like food, we're like, we'll just not worry about it. I like front loaded. I have these huge gigs, right leading up to it. And I'm like, all right, that's just our fuck around money. So we don't have to stress about money while we're there.
Yeah. And like you'll have a great time. Don't worry about
what?
Don't total it all up.
I won't. Well, maybe I will after the fact.
Or do.
No, you know what? I won't. The
You'll
food
get
I
a
won't.
monster. You'll get a monster Instagram reel out of it.
No, we opted not to do like the meal plan where things are included because it's like that's really expensive. But there's no way I'm going to take the energy. I'm not. First of all, I'm not going to keep track as we go, and I'm not going to put in the effort of finding out afterwards.
Well, it's never. That's a good tip from the cavalry to all of you. It's never worth it to do the thing that the corporation wants you to do.
Yeah.
So like if they're like, oh, it's all included, do this. They're doing that because they know they win in those scenarios.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And then if
we're doing what?
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say even if you can beat them, you're only beating them out of spite. So like if like the inclusive resort is like, hey, it's all drinks included, you're like, I have to have so many more Mai Tais
just
than
to win.
Just to win.
Yeah. That's like people on the cruise ships when they're like, yeah, we got the booze package, and they're fucking always trashed. And they're like, we're making money. I'm like,
I feel like this is the first year too, because then you really like look at, like, you ever just look at a Bud Light, and when you're at a bar and it's free, you're like, oh my god, a free Bud, and then you're like, it's so exciting. Have you ever had just Bud Lights in your fridge in your house and they're there for like 8 months? Like somebody had a Super Bowl party and then it was like you forgot about them.
Yeah.
It's never like then you like open up your fridge and, holy shit, a Bud Light and it's free. And you like immediately grab it. You're like, I fucking don't want a Bud Light. It's just like such a mentality shift. But if you're in like an airport lounge or at a comedy club that's comping your drinks, you're supposed to like want it so bad. It's only been like this year or maybe the last 2 years where I've been like able to go, just because it's free doesn't mean I want it. It's a very hard lesson to learn.
You're growing up.
I know.
Becoming a man. How old are you? 38?
God, thank you for that. I'm 39. But I do look 38, don't I?
Oh, you do. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Yes.
I'm in my mid to late.
I'll sleep well tonight.
I'm in my mid to late 30s, I suppose.
By the time when people are listening to this, I'll be in Disney, I think.
I know. What's your first ride? What's the big thing?
I don't know. We've been watching YouTube videos, and Duncan keeps being like, "I'm not going on that. I'm not going on that." And Aaron's like, "Yes, you are. You are." And I'm like, "Aaron, just you don't want him stressed going into this trip. If he doesn't want to go on anything, fine. He doesn't want to." I say that, but then once we're there, I'm gonna make him go on fucking rides because
I was a big. I was a ride phobic kid. I did not like until like I don't know 12, 13. I was very, very scared.
Me too. Did you ever have nightmares of being on roller coasters?
I don't know about nightmares, but I was like definitely like people my age were definitely going on Space Mountain and the extreme ones, and I had no interest. But then it just all flipped. It was the same thing with food. I was the pickiest eater. It's like the same time, like really picky eater, didn't like roller coasters, and then at one point the dam broke, and I don't know, throwing that out there like for your kids.
Yeah, in good time.
It's gonna happen. Like why freak out about it? Like
pubes. Hey, calm down. There's no rush. It'll happen.
You don't have to coach them out of there. You don't have to go down there and go.
You're gonna draw them on. They'll come on. Keep ready. They'll come when they're ready. You ever hear that joke? Dad say this like 9 times on the podcast about when people used to say, "Yeah, Beaner thought he had a pube until he peed out of it."
I was just imagining a product someone sells where it's like starter pubes. It's like, hey, if your pubes not come in, check out.
It's like a stamper that just puts
check out early pubes.
Chia pubes.
Chia pubes. Just one quick. We even make them itch.
Yeah. We even make them itch. Ooh, those sound like good ones. Nice.
Nice. All right, good app.
Yeah, what do you want? Where are you gonna be? Here, I'll plug mine since I got it all up here.
Oh yeah, I actually been booking these days. Oh yeah, we've been booking.
I think this is coming out on the 29th, is it not? Because we have
what?
Yeah. This episode drops on the 29th, I believe.
Okay.
So I'm gonna plug Mason City Limits, February 23rd, 24th. One of those nights might be in Bloomington. But that's Mason City Limits. And then March 2nd, Comedy Cabin. Good new club. Never been trying to get in. Saturday, it's in Janesville, Wisconsin. Comedy Cabin.
Okay, I will be February 14th in Prosser, Washington.
Are you bringing the wife? That's Valentine's Day.
That's wine. I know, and it's wine country too.
Ooh.
I should. Let's bring the wife.
Yeah, do it. Let's do it.
At a winery. So if you're in the Tri-Cities area, otherwise the shows I really want you to come to because I have interest in that. March 1st, Whidbey Island, Washington at the Wicca Theater, or March 2nd at the North Bend Theater in North Bend, Washington. Either of those shows would be great if you're in those areas. Check them out. Me and Bo Johnson. Very funny.
Ooh, nice.
Comedian.
Bo Johnson is heavy in my Instagram. I don't know what the algorithm is.
He works hard. He works hard on that Instagram, and it has paid off. And he's a funny dude. He deserves it. Yeah. But yes, he's doing very well on there. And hopefully it helps me sell tickets.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Cavalry.
Stick around for Patreon post-show banter.
Exactly. And that's it. Thank you for listening to
The Cavalry.